you have to understand the marketing psyche or the psychology in real estate, and why people buy houses and why people buy stuff and why people buy anything. So my big point to start with is people buy for different reasons, okay? Now, that may sound intuitive, but think about it and kind of marinate on that for a second. And I'm going to show you a diagram. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Let's see here. I'm going to introduce you to something that you may have found in a college psychology class. This is what we call Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Don't go to sleep. This is huge. This is important. So the bottom to the top, right? Well, this encapsulates the entire real estate buying and selling experience. It all matters in your business. And here's what I want to point out. So the bottom, you can see basic needs up to psychological needs, up to self-fulfillment needs, right? And for a second, separate yourself from this triangle and only look at your farm, your market, your customers, your prospects, and your leads on a clinical, like laboratory level, right? And this is our magnifying glass. This is our microscope that allows us to see what's really going on in the Petri dish. So the very bottom you see are physiological needs. That's food, water, warmth, and rest. The next one up is safety, security, and safety. Those are our basic human needs, right? And so we have buying behaviors that circulate around the safety and physiological needs in our life. And you could argue that real estate fits into the physiological layer, or even in the safety layer, that just on a very basic level, if I've got a house to live in, I'm safe from the elements and I'm warm, or I can stay cool again from the elements. And so that's a very basic and not really what I wanted to talk about, but you can start to see how the Lego pieces can fit together. But my big point is that people buy for different reasons. And the reason why no real estate transaction is ever the same is because everyone that buys or sells with you is doing so for different reasons. Deep down, there may be some categories that they fit into, but deep down, when it comes to the hierarchy of needs, there's always something else going on. And if you can understand quickly how to place them, your client that is, inside this grid, inside of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it helps you either accelerate the process, expedite what's going on, or prevent bad things from happening. I was talking to a mortgage partner of mine, and he was just this week, they were supposed to have a closing. And one thing led to another. A rookie agent handed a key to the buyer before the closing. The buyer went into the property, painted the entire interior of the property, and the seller went nuts. And obviously that's it was a rookie agent. She didn't know better. She didn't realize the anthill she was kicking up, even though it's kind of logical not to do that. But besides that, the seller now will not sell them the house. Even though the closing was literally the next day, the seller will not sell them the house. And it's because there's a different psychological need that seller has, rather than just getting the money from the transaction and moving on with life. There was a different need. So going up the ladder or up the triangle, you might be able to explain or understand, if that rookie agent would have known or gotten to know or been more intuitive about that seller's psychology or their hierarchy of needs, it would have clued them in not to do certain things. Now, I don't know that seller. I don't know their specific reason why, but you could probably argue that if you go up the needs in a psychological needs spectrum, or even in a self-fulfillment spectrum in the top half of the triangle, that seller is clinging to some kind of self-actualization. And that's that top of the pyramid is like where we find purpose, and like where we find like who we are and identity. And then the psychological needs, you know, esteem needs and belongingness, like being a part of a family, a community, a tribe, much like we are here at Agent Leads University. Like we have a need to be a part of something. But then above that, you've got like the individual journey in life. Like, why am I here? What's my purpose in life? Why was I placed on planet Earth? That type of stuff. And when you threaten those higher needs, the reaction from individuals is much, much more violent, irrational, reactionary, because those are also the most valuable needs that need to be met. Whereas, you know, food, water, warmth, and rest are more basic and less valuable, but at the same time, 100% necessary. So how can you take this understanding of the human and apply it in your real estate business? I would just challenge you today to think through Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Print this out, put it on your dash, put it on your mirror or whatever. And hey, this might even help you in your marriage, in your family life, when you're with the in-laws, whatever that is. Understanding the humans around you will help you navigate successful, persuasive interactions. And not in a way to trick people, but just to understand their needs, again, so that you can meet needs the way they want them. And ultimately, the big reason why this helps you in your real estate sales journey is because people buy and sell real estate ultimately for status mobility. Because every time you jump from the purple to the green to the yellow to the blue to the orange, you are effectively mobilizing your status, your social status, your mental status, your emotional status, the way you view your own self status, your self esteem. So guys, this is a massive, like, this is like, we're doing Facebook ads and they work and they get results if you do the work and you do the follow-up and you crush it and you get in there and do what you signed up to do. Like that, those strategies and tactics work. But if you go up a level and you start with this marketing psychology and understanding the human that you're wanting to do more transactions and interactions with as an agent, you can really accelerate your growth. You can really throw gas on the fire. And before you know it, your campfire is a bonfire. And you're not roasting marshmallows, you're cooking steaks. And you're having a blast. And all the other agents around you are looking, going, what do they know that I don't know? And at the end of the day, it's actually basic information that's on Google Images for everyone to know, which is understanding the human hierarchy of needs. So I hope this was helpful. Go download that. Go Google Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Print that out, study it, and just understand it and have it here in the real estate marketer's hard drive so that you can get more out of your real estate sales efforts. Okay, Josh here signing off, Agent Leads. Hope you guys have an awesome day. See ya.